Hi, it's Sue Verhoeven here, and today I'm going to share my medicine drink. That's what I call it, a medicine drink. It's for colds and coughs and flus and sore throats and stuff like that. And I have been literally recommending this for about 17 years. And any one of my friends who has tried it, or my family who's tried it, will absolutely vouch for how amazingly it works. My son is 16 and he's never had an antibiotic, and he's never had a sore throat or a chesty cough or even infected kind of cold. And I always nip it in the bud with this recipe. And I know a lot of you lovelies are suffering with colds and coughs at the moment, and it is the time of year for that. I always keep these ingredients in my house just in case, because that, you know, you get that moment where you think, oh no, I think I'm getting a cold, I think I'm getting a sore throat, you know, that you're a little bit achy, and you're like, oh. As soon as you get that feeling, you need to make this drink. It's absolutely incredible. Let me go through the ingredients. So you'll want a sprig of fresh thyme. I always keep thyme, I grow it in the garden specially. You can actually freeze it so that you've got fresh thyme frozen in the freezer, or if you haven't got fresh, use dried. Okay, this is an amazing, amazing plant. Okay, it literally is your first defence when you've got a cold, or you think you've got a cold or a cough coming on, because it tackles it. It's really high in vitamin C and vitamin A, and it alleviates the symptoms of acute bronchitis. So it's really, really, really good. And it's boosts the immune system. So that's what you need when you're coming down with something, or you're fighting a cold that you've already got. But hopefully you nip it in the bud with this. So I will take about that much fresh thyme. The second ingredient is mustard cress, mustard seed cress. This again is an incredible plant. It's very high in vitamin C. It's also high in omega-3, which is very good for a healthy body. It improves lung function, and it's great for colds and coughs and sore throats, and it's an immunity, it naturally boosts your immunity, which is what you want when you're fighting a cold. And when I lived in Belgium, the Belgian mums and housewives absolutely swore by this. They always put cress in their children's school sandwiches, because they say it keeps it in the throat. So if they do get a cold, it doesn't go down onto the chest and then drag on, so it keeps it in the throat. This is absolutely amazing. So this is why I added this to my recipe, because of what I'd been told when I lived in Belgium. And in fact, a lot of the ingredients are inspired by things I found out when I lived in Indonesia. So it's kind of how I put it together. So what I do with these ingredients, I use half a punnet of this to this bunch of thyme, and I simply drop it into a saucepan about this size. It's kind of a big saucepan. I fill that with water, and I just drop the ingredients into the cold water, bring it to the boil and simmer it for 2 to 3 minutes, and that is your tea base. So I've got my pan of water here. I'm just simply going to put that in the water, and I'm going to nip off half of this head of cress. It's mustard seed cress, okay, sometimes called salad cress, but it's made from mustard seeds. Lovely. So there I have it. I'm just going to bring that to the boil, and it'll go a delicate kind of greeny yellow colour. But when it cools, it goes dark, dark brown, much like black tea. So I'm going to put this on to boil now. So when my tea, which is on the stove at the moment, has simmered for 3 minutes, come to the boil and simmered for 3 minutes, it's ready to pour into mugs, ready to drink. So the first ingredient I add after I've got my tea is Manuka honey. and I always get one that's kind of +10 or +5, so it's got the actual active ingredient in it. Okay, Manuka honey is made from tea tree flowers, which has, you know, amazing medicinal properties in itself. But this is a natural anti-inflammatory. Okay, it's a natural antioxidant, it's an antibacterial and an antiviral. So there's heaps and heaps of health benefits to this. It's also really good at soothing a sore throat. In fact, cough mixtures don't actually work. You're better off just taking a spoon of honey or some kind of syrup that will coat your throat. So this packs a punch medicinally on its own. So I will stir in like a heaped teaspoon of that into my hot tea. And I put that in first because I want it to melt. Okay, so the next ingredient I put in is ginger. A piece of ginger about this thick. Ginger has got some amazing properties in itself. It's an anti-inflammatory. It kind of heats the blood up, much like when you get a temperature, and to help fight infection. It's an antioxidant. It helps with aches and pains and stiffness and soreness in your body. It fights infection, and it fights viral respiratory conditions. Ta-da! So this is a good one, and that's just one of the amazing health benefits of ginger. And what I do is I just put this in a garlic press and I squeeze all the juice in, and then I usually just drop the fibre in as well, because, you know, more will kind of go into the hot water. So that's my next ingredient. And the last ingredient is the juice of half a lemon. So lemons are full of vitamin C, so we've got a hell of a lot of vitamin C in there, and they're really good at helping keeping you hydrated. And when you have a cough and a cold and your body is producing all that mucus, you can get very dehydrated. That's why your lips go really sore when a cold gets a good hold, because you're dehydrated. So the combination of those flavours together is absolutely fantastic. I always squeeze the lemon in last. Okay, and when I come to make another drink, when I need another drink, so I would take this as soon as you feel it coming on, make a tea, drink a big mug of it, and then probably every 4 hours you find that you'll start to go down, and then you'll need it again. If you nip it in the bud, you'll stop the cold from actually happening. It's great to have one before you go to bed because it clears your nose and helps you fall asleep much better. So ingredients that you could swap. Okay, you could use garlic, okay, if you don't have ginger. You could use garlic if you don't have lemon. You can make a kind of savoury one if you like. And the other ingredient you can use if you don't have any ginger is chili, because chili has a very similar effect on kind of heating the blood, kind of help to fight the infection. But I always have lemons. Always have lemon in my fridge. The one ingredient that if I don't have, it might be I don't have any cress, because that goes off really quickly. I'll make it with just the thyme, because you've still got the thyme, the ginger, the honey and the lemon in there, and that is going to hit the spot till you can whiz down the shops and get yourself some fresh mustard cress. So here I have my tea, which has been simmering, which has come to the boil and simmered for 3 minutes. You can see the colour that it's going. It's quite a delicate colour. I'm simply going to pour it in a cup. I'm going to strain this because it's for my son and he doesn't do bits. So there we go. And that will probably make about 6 cups, I think. The next thing I'm going to put in is my ginger, and as I said, I'm just going to fire it in with a garlic press. He doesn't really like these bits either, but I put these ones in because they sink to the bottom. But if this was for me, I would have it with whatever bits of shrubbery went in there. Here's the Manuka honey. In fact, I do normally put the honey in first. And the juice of half a lemon, which again I'm going to have to strain because he doesn't like the fleshy bits, but I would just put that in. I'll just put everything in if it's for me. There we go. As easy as that. The lemon juice makes it go a bit of a lighter colour, and especially when it's gone really dark. And there you have it. Absolutely delicious. Smells gorgeous. So after I've made my first drink, what I do is I let the tea cool, and it'll go a darker and darker and darker colour. I usually actually leave all the greenery in there, and I just leave it on the top. I don't heat the whole batch up again. I simply pour 1 cup's worth into a mug and I'll heat it in the microwave. But I do not add the honey, the ginger or the lemon. I add it to the hot tea afterwards, because lemon's flavour changes when you microwave it. It's not the same at all. And I wouldn't want to be microwaving the honey, but you know, it's a very, very quick way of heating up another tea when you need it again. And you can keep it in the fridge as well, and you can even freeze it, so that if you get caught short, the tea is there in your freezer. You can just defrost it and add the fresh ingredients to the tea once it's defrosted. So it's always possible to have a version of this at home ready for that moment at 8 o'clock at night when you're in for the night and you just go, oh no, oh please, I think I'm getting, you know, there's that moment, we all know that, there's a precise moment where you think, oh no, I think I'm coming down with something, and you don't want that to be at 10 o'clock at night and have to go out to the store to get the ingredients. So it's really good to keep them in the house. Absolutely, hands down, try this. You'll be absolutely astounded at how amazing it is. I don't use Lemsips, and I don't use cold and flu remedies and flu tablets or anything. I get out my good old honey, lemon, ginger, thyme and cress, and that is exactly what I use, and it's all I've used for many years. So have fun with it, and if you know anyone that's got a cold, do like and share this video with them. It's really easy to make. Alright, lots of love, and I hope that this makes all your winter colds better as soon as possible. Okay, lots of love, bye!
Meta 7 combines 7 vital nutrients that boost your metabolism. These essential nutrients boost your energy level and may even help you lose weight. The goal of Meta 7 is to help you activate your life. So if you are feeling a bit sluggish and want your energy back, try Meta 7 today.